Hi, I'm LeSean and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here and you want to be inspired on a daily basis, then this is the perfect place for you. Start now by subscribing and clicking the bell. Hello. My name is LeSean and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a very simple lifestyle vlog where I get here every morning and I try to uplift, encourage, and inspire as many people as I possibly can. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am the divorced mother of 3 adult children. I have 2 boys and a girl. I am a United States Navy veteran. I'm also a surgical tech. I am disabled and I work full-time here now from my home. I am a hustler. That's right, I'm a hustler. I get up every day and I work. I do something for my YouTube channel every single day. And I love what I do. I love to help people, uplift people, encourage people, and talk about the love of the Lord. That's right. So this is my new intro. So here I am. And if you like what you see, click like, share, comment, and come back here on a daily basis. So here's today's video. Hey YouTube, it's me LeSean and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's that time again where it's time to get to know me. There's a lot of new subscribers here on my YouTube channel and I do these every few months or so. It catches you up and that type of thing. And that's because I don't do lives anymore. Not that I ever really did them. I do them every now and then. You might catch me in the middle of the night or something like that, but I have too many throat issues. I be coughing sometime and it's 10 minutes later I'm still coughing. And so it's just too much work trying to do lives. I will when I can, but I just make the videos, edit them, cut out the coughing. Okay. Okay, get to know me. And how I pick out what I'm going to talk about on my Get to Know Me is my emails. I get emails all the time. How did I become disabled? How long was I in the Navy? How many children do I have? What happened in my marriage? So I get lots and lots of questions. So what I do is I focus on 1 or 2 things. And then when it's time for it to get to know me, then I'll bring up one issue and I'll talk about it in a video. Or sometimes I'll do get to know me questions and answers. And I'll have some of the questions that I get. And then I'll just, answer a couple of them, not all of them. And then if it's something private, I just keep it to myself, okay? So on Get to Know Me today, we're going to talk about my childhood with my mother. And that's important because I think that the basis of who you are begins and ends with your parents. And so I think it's very important because people ask about me joining the Navy. And I think it's important to know that I joined the Navy because I felt like I had no choice. I was working at Kentucky Fried Chicken the whole time that I was in high school, and there was a lot of drug use and things going on inside my house. And I was a little bit, I don't know the word that I'm looking for. Arrogant might be the word. I only applied to 1 college because I knew I'd get in. So I guess arrogant, cocky, whatever the word is. And I didn't get accepted. And so all my friends was getting ready to go to school. I had no plan. I was working at Kentucky, but it was a good gig. Kentucky Fried Chicken was a good gig. I'm telling you, wherever you work at, whatever job you have, there is honor and dignity in wherever you work, from being a garbage man to working at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I always push that. I always say that because I ironed my uniform every single day for Kentucky Fried Chicken. I had a crease in my pants. I went to work. I did what I was supposed to do. And I could have had a career at Kentucky Fried Chicken because I was working hard and doing what I was supposed to do. But I would go from school straight to work, and from work take buses home and go home to the same activity. Now, I do not want to bash my mother and father. They did the best that they knew how. And the reason I say that is I'm going to end this video talking about the best that you can do. So I want you to know they did the best that they could, but they had issues of their own, So It was a lot of drug activity. And so I knew that I had to get out of that scene. I knew that I had to leave Chicago, because if I didn't, I'd never prosper. I'd never amount to anything, because I could see what was happening in a slow type of situation. My situation was so bad. I had Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines come over at different times. I never got the Coast Guard. I never did any interviews with the Coast Guards, but I had all recruiters at my house, and my father wanted me to go in the Army because that's where he went and what he did his career in the Army. But the only recruiter that, snapped the light on in my head was my Navy recruiter. It was a African-American woman. And I just felt like she was straightforward with me. She just told me everything. She didn't bite her tongue. She didn't lie to me. That is a lot of stuff that was going on back then. You had to make sure you was honest as a recruiter. And she was honest with me and everything. And, I was exercising with her. I was getting my mind, body, and spirit ready to go to the military. And I remember like it was yesterday. See, there are always things that happen in your life that you can go down one road or another. And for me, my road was my recruiter pulled me to the side one day when she came to pick me up to take me to my exercise, because she had a group of us and we used to run and do calisthenics and get ready mentally to go into the military. And she said, "Sean, you can't stay in this house." And I was like, "Why?" She said, "Because there is drug activity here. I smell the marijuana." She said, "You're not going to pass your test." I said, "I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I don't do anything like that." And she said, "But you got secondhand. You're in there 24/7, and you can still be positive for a test." And I never, put one and one together and added that up. But I knew it was time for me to move on, because that is the intensity of the drug activity that was going on. So I had to change my behavior, which was I need to work more. I need to stay out of the house more. I had no other place to go. So I knew I had to stay there, but I had to put things in motion. I didn't sit around in the living room when they were doing their marijuana and things like that. I stayed in my room with the door closed, and I finished off. I had 8 weeks left, and I did everything I could to be at the house as much as I could, came there when I had to, and was at work. And it was nothing bad. It's just the way things were. When you at that crossword, you have to decide where you want to go. I knew I had to get out of there. I knew I had to join the military. And that's what I did. I joined the military. What year was that? In 1988, I joined the Navy. Went to the MEP station. Went to a hotel for the first time. Flew on an airplane for the first time. Was away from home. And I went to boot camp. And a boot camp was another crossroad, because people were dropping like flies. It was a lot of people just couldn't make it, mentally, physically, for whatever their reasons were. And I had no support from home. My letters went unanswered. And I'm not even sure to this day why I didn't have that encouragement that I needed. But I had to find it within. I spent a lot of time in the bathroom in boot camp when everybody was asleep. We'd have somebody on watch right by the stalls by the bathroom, and they'd have like 4-hour watches or whatever it was. And I remember one time the girl was like, "What?" I said, "I'm praying. I'm okay. I'm just praying." And I wanted to be alone. And so I would go in there and pray. I talked to God every single day, because all I had was my thoughts of my grandmother and how she used to tell me that you have to be your own cheerleader. And I use that to this day. I had to be my own cheerleader. I had a difficult time at boot camp. It wasn't an easy walk in the park for me. Okay, I wasn't that in shape. I did my very best. I couldn't swim. All the things you needed to be successful for the Navy. So It wasn't easy. That's how I know that God was testing me, because nothing was easy. Everything was hard, from making the bed to passing inspections to PT to finding the right food to eat to be sick and know how to fight through the pain. All those things came with me in the Navy. And then when I graduated, nobody from my family was there. I had a friend of mine named Jonathan Young, who was in the Marine Corps, who he and I were developing a relationship. Well, at least we were trying to. But he came and his entire family came. But I had no one from my family at boot camp. And to this day, I don't know why I wasn't important enough for them to show up. But I tell people, you are not your circumstances. Because I could have just fell to the wind and had no support or anything. And again, I had resentment, I had pain for different things, and I was holding on to that anger. And the reason at the beginning of the story I told you the best that you can do, I say that because me and my mother went through trials and tribulations. Me and my father never really had a good relationship, but me and my mother was trying to get ourselves back to where we were. And I still was like, I don't understand why she was never present, why alcohol was more important or why drugs were more important. I wanted to know why. And I just never could get the right answer. I just think she was amazing and phenomenal in so many other ways. But she had her own demons. She had problems with my father, and her solution was to drink. And I didn't know what she was going through. I didn't know her story. But when she was dying at the end and I went to see her, listen closely. You know what she said to me? I'm sorry for everything I ever did wrong as a mother. I did the very best I could. And I had this epiphany. The hairs on my arms stood up. And I said, I get it, God. I get it. She did the very best she could. And it's because of her that I am successful. That's right. I am successful. And people think, oh, you're not a millionaire, you're not successful. I'm successful because she instilled a lot of good values inside of me. She showed me a lot of good things. And though she had a lot of things that she didn't do, and a lot of times she wasn't present when I needed her the most, at her very end, she told me she did the very best she could. And I know she did. So if you're a parent and you're doing the very best you can, that's all you can do. Just be as present as you can with your children. And I am grateful for my life, for everything, the good and the bad. You know, I thought I'd be married forever, but I wasn't. But I wouldn't change anything. A lot of people make the mistake and say, oh, I shouldn't have married that man, or I shouldn't have married that woman, or I shouldn't have went there, I shouldn't have did that. But if I was to say that, I wouldn't have my children. My children are the best thing ever happened to me. And I could only have them if I married their father. So you have to be careful what you put out. Okay? So my mother did the very best she could. I did the very best I could. And now my children are thriving. Okay? So that is the lesson today. Do your very best and be as present as you can for your children. Okay? So thank you for joining me today for Get to Know Me. That's right. I'm LeSean. If you're getting to know me on every single video, I appreciate you. And I thank you for coming back day after day. Okay. So at this time, we're going to breathe in, breathe out, and get our day started. You ready? Breathe in, breathe out. Ooh, we thank you, Father, for another day. So wherever you headed today, to work, to school, maybe you got to go pick up some stuff from the bakery, the cleaners, wherever you got to go. Be happy and joyful and put a smile on your face and treat people with respect. It's the only way to live, okay? So have a good day, have a blessed day, and remember, God loves you, and so do I. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you guys for watching today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Take a minute to leave a comment I look forward to talking to you soon.